Anthony Barr, Director of Football Relations, Oklahoma State. And what's been going on? You know what? I'm trying to think, literally trying to think the last time I saw you.
Well, it's been a while.
Yeah, it was.
We've
You know
all been
what?
quarantined.
You know what? I know exactly where it was. The day that we found out all the tournaments were canceled, all the spring sports were canceled. You had come out in the parking lot from the Sherman
that's
Smith.
Right. That's right.
I had just come from Homeland with a salad, and I get out and I said, Johnny, what's going on? And we start talking about it, and I think you looked at me and said something like, are we gonna have a football season? And I'm like, oh, come on, surely we'll have a football season.
Sure we
But
will.
you were legitimate. You were concerned right off the bat. And
Well,
you know what?
That's been 2.5 months ago, Robert.
I know. Well, there was a long time there in that
Lots
pandemic.
happened since then.
Yeah. In fact, you got tested Friday, right? As part of the football staff?
I got a phone call today too.
Good one?
You want to shake hands?
Yeah, well, yeah, I trust you.
They said I was negative, so
they said
we started the day right.
Okay, there we go. Did everybody find out what their results were today? You think?
Well, I know Mac Butler did. I was in a meeting with him, so he got his call today.
I'm told eventually Hunziker and I are going to get tested.
Well, you probably should.
So, well, I mean, if you're going to be around the players, you have to get tested. So,
and I just shook your hand.
Yeah.
God.
Well, I'm going to guess you're allowed to go back to your office.
Well, I think so. See, that proves they took my temperature this morning.
Yeah. That's
the arm.
Is there a different color for every day of the week?
I'll tell you tomorrow.
Okay. That's what Johnny's talking about is one entrance in and out of the west end zone.
Correct.
And you get your temperature taken and you get an armband. If you don't have a wristband, then you're not allowed.
Straight to jail. Don't pass go.
Don't pass go. All right. What's it like over there now that you guys have come back? I know you had staff last Thursday. Players are trickling in today, at least part of the players. What's the mood over there?
Well, I hadn't seen any players. Everybody's kind of going on about their business. We do have our first full staff meeting in the morning.
Okay.
So we'll know a little bit more about, Gundy's thoughts and what we need to do and going forward.
All right. And one of the things, Director of Football Relations, you're kind of the guy that relates to some of the important fans, some of the important boosters in the program. Kind of Coach Gundy's conduit to those people. Part of your situation involves Extreme Camp. What about Extreme Camp? What can you tell me? Because I know there's people who've signed up already.
Correct.
That's been a fanatical type experience. You got people that come back every year for it. You've got new people that learn about it that can't wait to go. Fathers and sons, brothers, former players that come as a group. It's been a real big hit. Where are we with that during this year with that pandemic?
Well, we early, when we originally started, set the date for August 7th, 8th, and 9th. That'll be our team's second, third, fourth, fifth practices while they're here. Right. And we're staying with that date right now, so everything looks to be good and going strong. We're going to take every precaution needed to make sure that everybody's safe when they come in every day, as we are doing with our staff and we'll do with our players. So look to have a good time. It will be our 11th year, if you can believe that we've had it.
Wow.
Last year I had 11 guys that had made all 10 years. And this year I've got 12 that if they come and they're scheduled to, it'll be their 10th year. And I've got 34 guys that this will be their 5th year that they've attended. So I think we're doing some good things. We're building relationships. People love football here, as you know, and expectations are really high. So we're looking good, are looking forward to really a good year with the camp and with the season.
Yeah, I've got the first 2 copies of College Football Preview magazines that I picked up this weekend. You know me, even though I'm a college football magazine-aholic, even though I probably know more than what I read in the magazines.
Exactly.
Yeah, I still want to see what other people do. And you know what? One of the cool things, in Athlons, and they've done this for years, is they have other coaches, anonymously comment on other programs. So I love reading those. I think everybody's being really kind this year. I didn't read anybody. They're terrible. We all know they're terrible. I mean, I didn't read any of those, and usually there's a couple of those. But along those lines, we got people doing specials here that on the team. Does this remind you a little bit of 2011? Because the buildup is huge. You've got Chuba, who's a Heisman Trophy favorite and or candidate for sure. You bring back a returning starting quarterback. Tylan Wallace is back. I think the offensive line is going to be tremendous, and Tevin Jenkins is getting all kinds of attention. And then Johnny, 10 of 11 returning starters on a defense that last year was improved. No doubt about it. They were better.
Right. Well, I'm excited about the defense because that's what I coached most of my life. But we've got a lot of good players coming back that's been in the system now with our new coaching staff and our coordinator, I should say. Uh, so I think expectations are high on that side of the ball, and we know of all the players we have on offense. So we should have an exciting year. Looking forward to it, and it'll be here before you know it. Even though it seems it's a couple months away now, right? 2 or 3, I guess.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, you know, like you said, you haven't seen any players yet in the facility.
Right.
You probably will before the end of the day, but they've been gone since spring break. And the last practice was that day you and I saw each other in the parking lot. Last time we saw each other in person, face to face, and Mike Gundy had ramped it up. He'd gone full pads that day because he knew deep down it was probably going to be the last spring practice. What kind of things have you heard about these kids? I know what we've seen on social media. We've seen guys pulling trucks. We've seen guys in their garages lifting weights. Brock Martin doing vertical jumps on a flatbed. Uh, but do you get the feel that these guys went home and kept up the work?
Well, I want to think so, and I know our coaches do. We've got an experienced bunch coming back, so they know what it takes to play at this level and play well. I think they're excited about the year, so they're taking care of business hopefully, and we'll find out when they get back. And I'm sure Rob Glass is the guy you need to ask those questions to, but Rob will be on top of them, and I expect them all to come in really good shape, ready to go, and excited about the season.
Yeah, and talking to Rob, he did feel pretty good. In fact, he said if we were going to have to deal with a situation like this was the team I would have wanted to deal with.
There you go.
So
I agree to that.
all right, let's circle back to Extreme Camp again. Are you full up?
No.
Okay. I mean, and how much of that do you think is the pandemic? Because a lot of times this time you've been full up.
Well, I've gotten a lot of texts, emails about that question. Are we still on? Is the date the same? Da da da, all that. So we sent out a email last week that it is. We look forward to hopefully staying with that date, and we'll keep you updated if there's any changes. So I had some stuff come in today, and I'll be checking. We'll carry on, and we'll have a good time, and they just need to keep coming.
All right, for people who want to go, what do they need to know? Who do they need to contact?
Well, they need to just call the football office. Hadn't been there so long, I forgot the number. 744 9869, I believe.
Yep.
Or they could call my office, 744 3284. And
I'd call your office.
or they can just email me, or email is probably the best, at johnny.barr@okstate.edu, and I'll get all the information to them they need to get signed up, and look forward to having them.
Yeah, and for folks who don't realize that you get the full experience. They can go to meetings, meals, practices. One of the more popular deals is the where they get to meet the new freshman class. That's kind of an interesting
That seems
deal.
to be the exciting thing that they enjoy probably the most. Now, we're going to have to work through some of those things you just said with social distance and those type
That's a
things.
deal you
do
can
the
social distance. You can
well,
sit the guys back, put the kids on stage and in the
well,
meeting
no,
room.
but
So,
sitting
yeah,
next to each other too. I mean, there
that's
needs to
true.
be distance there because the
Oh,
university
yeah.
we have a policy for that. So we will take every precaution that we need to take to keep everybody safe and still have fun and do what they want to do and what we need to get done.
Still going to have the social things at night.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah, we'll have a good time there.
Okay, I got you. And you always got, they get gear too. That's probably something we should tell the
Well,
folks.
they call it swag.
Swag, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah. There's some good swag involved
You know,
with
so,
extreme camp.
some guys think it's Christmas in August, so
I know this.
maybe we do a little bit more than Santa Claus been doing. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, you do pretty good. Little, pairs of shoes and stuff like that, and then all kinds of door prizes and things you give away. Now, here's another thing. By the way, did you see how many referees are leaving the Big 12 this year? DeFee's
I know
gone.
DeFee's
Cooper
gone.
Castleberry.
Cooper's gone.
Yeah, I
I just
mean
talked to Cooper the other
Reggie
day.
Smith went to the Big 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, Reggie's gone, and then there's one other official, the longtime West Texas guy that's a referee. We didn't get him very often, but
I didn't know
he's
that.
gone too. So there's 4 referees gone out of the Big 12. Who are your speakers? Have you got those lined up yet?
No, not quite. I'm still talking to some guys, but I was thinking about bringing Cooper back. He's going to have another role with the Big 12.
Yeah, he's going to be an observer and be
right.
up there. He wanted to be a replay official. I think that would be good too. But
Well, that's when I talked to him, he thought that's what he's going to be, and I thought the guys would really enjoy the thought process and really what actually goes through a replay from the booth to the field or whatever takes place. And he does know a lot about that, so I may have Cooper anyway because he wants to play Karsten, and I told him he could. So
you know what? Here's another thing. You brought up replay, and of course, Hunziker and I go to the clinic every year. I don't know if we're going to be allowed to go to the clinic this year with the pandemic and all that. But so we've sat in simulated replay scenarios. I'll be danged. During all this pandemic, when they've been replaying all these games, do you know what game has been replayed on Fox, ESPN more than any other?
well, I don't know. I've seen Miami and Ohio State.
Well, I'm talking about of our games.
Oh, of our game.
Of our games. I
Well,
can't believe it.
Which one is it?
Central Michigan.
Oh, well, that's what
It's
I
just,
guess.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I've watched the bowl game again. Now, last week they had a good one. TCU here a few years back when
Right.
they had Trevon Boykin and Mason went off going to James Washington and just Gary Patterson's defense had no answer. It's funny. Gary Patterson's defense in that game had no answer to the outside. They manned up on the corners and just got abused. And then last year, Gary's defense had no answer at the middle with Chupa. So I just hope we catch him in another year with no answer down in Fort Worth this year.
Well, when you got Wallace and Stoner and those guys outside, and you got the running backs inside, and quarterback that can run it, it creates problems, which you know.
Yeah, Meacham's back in the league this year.
Oh yeah.
And Yurcich is back in the league this year.
Oh yeah.
And Fedora's calling plays at Baylor.
He's back. Wickline, he's back.
Wickline's back at Baylor. It's old home year this year now.
Well, hopefully we can send them home or make them wish they were still here.
Johnny Barr, Director of Football Relations, with us. We're kind of hodgepodging it now, but did you see that was one of the funniest things that happened to me during a game last year that had nothing to do with football? Was up at West Virginia. I'm walking out to the coin toss.
I know what you're gonna say.
And West Virginia is introducing their seniors, of which one was Kobe Wickline.
Correct.
Joe's son played here at Stillwater. And so I just finished the coin toss, and I'm turning to head back to our bench, and I get grabbed from behind by what I thought was
Wolfman Jack.
Woolly Mammoth or something. Yeah, Wolfman Jack or I was trying to think of the name of one of those bear trapping type characters. You know what I'm talking
Right.
about? Yeah, because he was just a big woolly bear. Talking about Joe Wickline, his hair longer than Gundy's had grown. Had growth on his face. Like dang.
I bet it's not that way now. In
No, at
Waco,
Baylor.
Texas.
Yeah, Baylor Bears. No, I bet he's back to a crew cut and clean shaven.
You know who his graduate assistant is, or helper, or analyst? I don't know what
No.
position. Zach Crabtree.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that. That's good. Good for Zach.
Oh yeah.
So
Good player, good guy.
yeah, we got guys. We got guys all over the league. It'll be weird. Now the funny thing is, for Fedora and Wickline, not the first time in Waco, Texas. They were both on that Baylor staff when Gundy was there, and I'm trying to think who the guy was after Grant Taft. There was a head coach. He was Grant's longtime assistant. Took over as head coach
Yeah,
that year.
yeah. Played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was the guy that Mike and Fedora and Wickline were all there coaching for, and only lasted 1 year. They were like 6-5,
Right.
and Baylor fired him, which was
You know who's at Texas with Yursich?
yeah. Well, Fedora was an analyst.
No.
No.
That's at Texas.
Oh, at Texas now. No, Fedora was at Texas as an analyst before Wickline. I mean, before Yursich. Who's there with Yursich now? Oh, yeah, it's J Dub.
Yeah.
Is he off? Is he an analyst or is he a?
I don't know that.
Because he was a position coach at Abilene Christian. You know where his dad is now?
Yeah, he's at San Marcos.
San Marcos,
Yeah.
which is a pretty nice town.
Yeah, it is.
If you're gonna hang out, San Marcos
Like
is
the
not
hill
bad.
country.
Not bad at all. So, all right. Anything else we need to know?
No. If you like football, you need to come to the extreme camp. You'll have a lot of fun and get some see the way it really works, the ins and outs, and create some really good relationships with guys outside that they don't necessarily know, and coaches inside. So email me, call me. You'll have a good time.
Yeah, we've got we've got the email and all the phone numbers that you can call, whether it's the football office or Johnny's office, and get involved. I can vouch for that. I've spoke at Extreme Camp, and then obviously I'm around when the Extreme Campers there. I don't know if I've ever seen that many grown men having that much fun at one time anywhere else. But and you do get the social at night. You get to spend time with the coaches. Get to go out to Coach Gundy's house, do all those kind of things, and that's another thing about. I'm assuming during the pandemic time at home, you had some communication with Coach Gundy. He's what I would call right now on the bit. He's pretty hard charging right now.
You know, there for a while though. I bet I didn't talk to him 3 or 4 week period of time.
Yeah,
I mean, he was busy and doing things, getting ready. So
yeah, the last few weeks though, I've probably had more text conversation and more actual. It's one thing for me to call his phone and the call doesn't get answered, but it's another thing when he calls mine. He's called mine more than he has in a long time, so I don't know what that says.
he's ready.
Maybe
to go.
I'm coming up in the world, or like you said, he's ready to go.
There you go.
So, all right, Johnny Barr, and again, Extreme Camp coming up, and right now, football kind of getting started. Players reporting today, Thursday, and then next Monday, and they'll start voluntary workouts on June 15th.